My friends, let me ask you something. What if the biggest economy you need to fix is not your country's economy, but your personal economy? What if the real recession is not happening in the markets, but inside people's belief systems? Because the moment you change how you think about value, risk, and opportunity, you change your financial destiny. The economy outside you will always fluctuate, but the economy inside you must remain strong. In life, we're all trading something. Some people trade time for money, others trade creativity for impact, and unfortunately, many trade their dreams for comfort. But here's the truth. Success is built when you learn to invest in yourself before expecting returns from the world. The strongest asset you will ever own is not stocks, real estate, or business. It is your mindset. When you upgrade your psychology, your strategy becomes powerful. What if the most valuable asset you will ever own is not listed on any stock exchange and cannot be measured by any currency? What if the difference between financial struggle and financial strength begins in a place no economist can? Graph the human mind. In modern economics, we talk about capital, productivity, and growth. Yet, the most powerful form of capital is psychological capital. Your mindset determines how you interpret opportunity, how you respond to uncertainty, and how consistently you execute the actions that create results. Two people can face the same economic environment. One sees limitation, while the other sees leverage. The market may set prices, but your beliefs set performance. When individuals train their thinking to focus on solutions instead of obstacles, they automatically increase their personal economic output because clarity reduces hesitation, and confidence accelerates action. Every financial decision is first an emotional decision. Before a person invests money, launches a business, or upgrades their skills, they must first overcome internal resistance. This is where mindset becomes the engine of economic behavior. People often believe that external resources create success, but professional growth consistently shows that internal resources create external outcomes. Discipline, resilience, and strategic focus operate like invisible assets that compound over time. When you strengthen these assets, your productivity increases, your adaptability improves, and your ability to recognize opportunity expands. Think about it. Opportunities do not disappear. They are simply invisible to unprepared minds. A trained mindset functions like an economic filter, allowing you to identify value where others see uncertainty. Consider how markets reward consistency. Businesses that grow are not always the ones with the biggest funding, but the ones with the strongest execution culture. The same principle applies to personal economics. When individuals adopt a growth-oriented mindset, they begin to treat time like investment capital rather than consumption. Hours are allocated toward learning, skill development, and strategic networking instead of distraction. This shift alone dramatically changes long-term earning potential because skills multiply value creation. The professional world does not compensate effort. It compensates results. Results improve when thinking improves. When thinking improves, decision-making becomes faster and more precise. Momentum builds, and momentum itself becomes an economic advantage. There's also a powerful connection between mindset and risk tolerance. Many people avoid growth because they interpret uncertainty as danger rather than possibility. Yet economic expansion, whether at the level of a nation or an individual, always requires calculated risk. A strong mindset does not eliminate fear. It trains perspective. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" productive thinkers ask, "What skill will I gain even if the outcome is imperfect?" That question alone transforms risk into investment. The moment people begin to view challenges as training environments, their resilience strengthens and their long-term economic stability improves. Confidence then becomes more than motivation. It becomes measurable performance energy that drives persistence through volatility. When mindset evolves from limitation to leverage, productivity rises, innovation expands, and personal financial ecosystems begin to grow with intentional direction. What if your income is not a reflection of how hard you work, but how much value you create? What if the marketplace is not paying you for your time, but for the problems you are capable of solving. This single shift in perspective changes the entire economic direction of a person's life. In every economy, value creation is the central force that drives financial growth. Companies expand when they deliver solutions people need, and individuals experience income growth when their skills directly impact results. The marketplace operates on a simple but powerful principle. The greater the value, the greater the reward. Effort alone does not guarantee financial progress. Strategic contribution does. When professionals understand this, they stop asking, "How can I work more?" and begin asking, "How can I become more valuable?" Value creation begins with skill development. Skills are economic tools that increase productivity and differentiation. In competitive markets, those who continuously upgrade their capabilities naturally stand out because they produce outcomes others cannot easily replicate. This is why specialized knowledge, communication ability, leadership strength, and creative problem solving consistently lead to higher earning potential. The modern economy rewards adaptability because industries evolve rapidly. Technology shifts, market demands change, and consumer expectations rise. Individuals who commit to continuous learning position themselves as long-term assets within any organization or business environment. When skills improve, confidence increases. When confidence increases, performance accelerates. Another critical factor in value creation is understanding impact. Many people focus only on completing tasks, but high-level professionals focus on improving systems. There is a significant economic difference between activity. Impact activity keeps operations running, but impact drives growth. For example, an employee who simply follows instructions maintains stability, while one who identifies inefficiencies and introduces solutions creates measurable value. That value becomes visible through increased revenue, reduced costs, or improved customer experience. The more visible your impact becomes, the stronger your financial positioning becomes. Because organizations invest in individuals who generate progress, innovation also plays a powerful role in expanding value. Innovation does not always mean inventing something new. It often means improving what already exists. Small improvements in efficiency, communication, or service quality can produce significant economic outcomes over time. This concept mirrors compound growth in finance, where consistent incremental gains lead to exponential results. Professionals who think creatively about improvement naturally increase their relevance in the marketplace because they contribute to forward movement rather than routine maintenance. There's also an emotional component to value creation that is often overlooked. People who believe they can grow tend to take initiative, while those who doubt themselves tend to wait for direction. Initiative itself is an economic advantage because it speeds execution and opens opportunity. When individuals combine initiative with skill development and solution-oriented thinking, they transform from participants into contributors. The marketplace consistently rewards contributors because they expand possibility, improve performance, and help organizations move closer to their goals. What if the highest return investment available to you today requires no stock market account, no real estate contract, and no external approval? What if the most powerful asset you can build is your own capability? In every economic system, smart investors focus on assets that appreciate over time, and the most reliable appreciating asset is personal development. Before capital multiplies externally, it must expand internally. The principle is simple yet transformational. When you invest in yourself, every future opportunity becomes more valuable. Skills sharpen, decisions improve, and confidence strengthens, creating a compounding effect that influences income, leadership potential, and long-term financial stability. Many people enter the marketplace focusing only on external investments such as money, business opportunities, or market trends, yet they overlook the foundation that determines how effectively those investments are managed. Knowledge, discipline, and emotional intelligence act as strategic economic drivers because they influence how risk is evaluated and how consistency is maintained. Without discipline, even strong opportunities collapse. Without learning, growth eventually slows. Professional success consistently shows that individuals who prioritize self-investment are better prepared to adapt during economic change because their value is not tied to one condition or one skill. Instead, they build flexible capability that evolves with market demand. Time is one of the most important currencies in personal economics, and how it is allocated determines future returns. When time is invested in learning high-income skills, strengthening communication, and developing problem-solving ability, the long-term payoff becomes measurable. Reading, training, mentorship, and strategic practice function like deposits into a personal growth account. These deposits may not produce immediate visible results, but over time they generate exponential impact. Just as financial investments grow through compound interest, personal investments grow through compound capability. Each new skill connects with previous knowledge, increasing efficiency and performance quality. Emotional control is another critical dimension of self-investment that is often underestimated. Economic environments are unpredictable, and pressure can influence decision-making. Individuals who train emotional resilience maintain clarity under stress, allowing them to make rational and strategic choices rather than reactive ones. This creates stability and performance, which directly affects professional reputation and opportunity flow. Organizations and clients consistently trust individuals who demonstrate reliability and composure because consistency reduces uncertainty. In economic terms, reliability increases perceived value. There's also a powerful connection between self-investment and opportunity recognition. People do not always lack opportunities. They often lack preparation. When preparation increases, awareness expands. Professionals begin to recognize patterns, trends, and possibilities that were previously invisible. This awareness creates momentum because prepared individuals act faster and more confidently. Initiative grows naturally when competence grows, and competence grows through continuous investment in knowledge and skill refinement. Over time, this process transforms individuals from opportunity seekers into opportunity creators, strengthening both their financial trajectory and their professional influence. What if the greatest financial risk is not taking one at all? What if the real danger in today's rapidly changing economy is staying comfortable while the world keeps evolving in every economic era? Growth has always been connected to calculated risk. Markets expand because innovators take action despite uncertainty, and individuals progress because they step beyond predictable patterns. Risk is often misunderstood as reckless behavior, yet in professional economics, risk management is about intelligent growth. It is the structured ability to move forward while continuously learning, adapting, and strengthening strategy. Every major opportunity carries uncertainty because the future is never fully visible. However, uncertainty does not eliminate opportunity. It defines it. High-performing professionals do not avoid risk. They reduce it through preparation. Knowledge lowers uncertainty. Skill increases control, and experience improves judgment. When individuals commit to continuous learning, they transform risk from a threat into a training environment. This shift in perspective creates confidence because growth replaces fear. Instead of asking, "What if this fails?" strategic thinkers ask, "What systems can I build to improve the outcome?" That question alone moves the mind from hesitation to execution. Economic progress at both personal and organizational levels depends on adaptability. Industries evolve due to technology, competition, and global shifts. Professionals who resist change often experience stagnation because their skills remain fixed while market demand moves forward. Growth-driven risk management encourages constant skill upgrades and strategic experimentation. Small controlled risks, such as learning a new capability, testing a new business idea, or improving operational methods, create experience without overwhelming exposure. Over time, these small risks compound into strong professional resilience because individuals become comfortable navigating change rather than avoiding it. Another powerful dimension of risk management is emotional control. Fear naturally appears when outcomes are uncertain, yet emotional reactions often exaggerate potential loss while ignoring potential gain. Professionals who train emotional discipline maintain clarity, allowing them to evaluate probability instead of reacting to pressure. What if the biggest financial breakthroughs are not created in one dramatic moment, but in hundreds of small daily decisions? What if success is less about intensity and more about consistency? In economics, the concept of compounding explains how small investments grow exponentially over time. And the same principle applies to personal performance and professional development. Daily habits function like micro investments, quietly shaping long-term results. While large achievements often receive attention, it is the routine actions, repeated consistently, that build sustainable growth. The difference between progress and stagnation is rarely dramatic. Every habit carries an economic effect because habits determine how time, energy, and focus are allocated. When individuals consistently invest time in learning, skill building, and strategic planning, they gradually increase their productivity capacity. This increased capacity allows them to produce higher quality results in less time, which directly influences professional value. On the other hand, unstructured habits such as distraction and inconsistency slowly reduce performance efficiency. The impact may not be visible immediately, but over months and years, the difference becomes significant. Just as compound interest rewards consistent financial deposits, consistent disciplined behavior multiplies professional outcomes. One of the most powerful aspects of the compound effect is its delayed visibility. Early stages of growth often appear slow because progress is accumulating beneath the surface. This is where many individuals lose momentum. They expect immediate results and underestimate gradual improvement. However, long-term economic growth rarely occurs instantly. It builds through steady refinement. Each new skill strengthens the previous one. Each improvement increases confidence, and each disciplined action reinforces future consistency. Over time, these small gains accelerate performance, creating momentum that becomes difficult to stop. Clarity also plays a critical role in building effective daily habits. When individuals define specific goals, their daily actions gain direction. Without clarity, effort becomes scattered, and results remain inconsistent. Professionals who align daily routines with long-term outcomes naturally experience stronger progress because every action supports a measurable objective. This alignment transforms ordinary routines into strategic investments. For example, dedicating time to reading industry knowledge, improving communication ability, or strengthening analytical thinking directly enhances long-term career positioning. Another key dimension of habit-based growth is environmental influence. Human behavior is strongly affected by surroundings, and successful professionals intentionally design environments that support productivity. This may include structured schedules, focused workspaces, or networks of growth-oriented individuals. When the environment encourages consistency, discipline becomes easier to maintain. Over time, these supportive structures reduce decision fatigue because productive behavior becomes automatic rather than forced. The compound effect also strengthens resilience. Small daily progress builds confidence because individuals begin to see measurable improvement. Confidence then reinforces motivation, creating a positive performance cycle. As consistency increases, results become more predictable, reducing uncertainty and improving strategic planning. This stability allows professionals to take larger opportunities because their foundation is strong. What once required effort becomes routine, and routine gradually transforms into mastery through persistent repetition and intentional growth. What if your financial results are not controlled by the market, but by your emotions about the market? What if the real economy influencing your income is the emotional economy operating inside your decisions every day? While traditional economics focuses on supply, demand, and capital flow, behavioral economics reveals a deeper reality. Human emotion drives financial behavior. Confidence encourages action. Fear delays opportunity, and focus determines consistency. Long before numbers appear in a bank account, emotional patterns are already shaping the outcome. Every financial choice begins with perception. Two individuals can face the same economic condition. One interprets uncertainty as danger, while the other interprets it as possibility. This difference is not based on intelligence alone, but on emotional conditioning. When fear dominates thinking, individuals tend to avoid calculated risks, delay strategic decisions, and underestimate their own potential. Over time, these patterns reduce exposure to opportunity. In contrast, emotionally disciplined professionals develop the ability to pause, evaluate, and respond logically rather than react impulsively. This emotional control improves decision quality, which directly impacts financial direction. Confidence functions as an economic multiplier because it increases execution speed. In competitive environments, opportunities often reward those who act with preparation and clarity. However, confidence is not created by motivation alone. It is built through repeated action and skill development. Each completed challenge strengthens emotional certainty, making future decisions easier and more effective. This creates momentum, and momentum itself becomes a measurable advantage. When individuals trust their preparation, hesitation decreases and productivity increases. Stress management also plays a critical role in financial performance. Economic pressure can influence judgment, especially when outcomes feel uncertain. Without emotional awareness, individuals may make reactive choices such as abandoning long-term strategies for short-term comfort. Professional growth requires emotional stability because stable thinking produces consistent execution. Techniques such as structured planning, reflection, and performance tracking help maintain clarity during high-pressure periods. When emotional reactions are balanced with logical evaluation, financial strategies remain aligned with long-term objectives. Focus is another emotional asset that strongly influences results. In a distraction-driven environment, maintaining concentration has become a competitive advantage. Focus determines how effectively individuals convert time into value-producing activity. When attention is scattered, productivity weakens and progress slows. When attention is intentional, output improves and opportunities expand. Emotionally disciplined professionals train their focus by setting clear priorities and eliminating unnecessary interruptions. Over time, this strengthens both performance, reliability, and professional reputation. There's also a powerful relationship between emotional resilience and economic recovery. Every professional journey includes setbacks, yet resilience determines how quickly momentum returns. Individuals who interpret challenges as learning experiences maintain forward movement, while those who interpret setbacks as permanent limitations often reduce effort. Resilience transforms temporary difficulty into strategic experience. As emotional strength grows, uncertainty becomes more manageable, decision-making becomes more strategic, and financial progress becomes increasingly structured through consistent, focused action. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, become the CEO of your personal economy. Audit your habits. Invest your energy wisely. Surround yourself with people who expand your vision, not shrink it. Remember, the economy will always go up and down, but your standards must only go up. Because when you change your standards, you change your decisions. When you change your decisions, you change your results. And when you change your results, you don't just transform your income, you transform your entire life. The best investment you will ever make is you